Hi, I want to talk today about pain and responsibility. Whose responsibility is it if I'm hurting? For most of my life, and from what I see from most of the people that I know and human behavior, our first instinct, and because I've worked with young children for over 20 years, he did it, she did it, they did it, you made me cry, you hurt me, you broke my heart. There's entire professions based upon suing people for the pain that they inflicted upon others. One time I was driving down Sunset Boulevard in Hollywood and there was a huge billboard and it said, whohurtyou.com. So it's very uh, ingrained in the cultural narrative that our pain is caused by someone else. And furthermore, you should sue the shit out of that person. Not only is it their fault, they owe you sometimes millions of dollars for the pain they inflicted upon you. Now, I'm not here to say that other people, that there aren't painful circumstances and that people don't do rotten, terrible things. The point is that if I'm hurting, I can't expect my pain to heal if I stay, if I give that responsibility to anyone or anything else. And I was talking to my mom this morning, and we were talking, those conversations where you just start talking about everybody you ever knew, your cousins who you haven't seen, and what are those kind of conversations? And we were just going over all the different people that we knew in our family and in our life. And I just said something, and I thought, when you say something and it's so profound, there's just silence on the other end of the line. I said, Mom, I think the reason why most people don't heal is that, well, first of all, we're trained to put our wounds and our burdens, we're trained to blame other people. We're trained to be helpless victims. It's, we're rewarded for that. Oh, you poor baby. And some people get stuck in that their entire lives because the rewards of being a victim are great. Look at all the great stories, TV shows, films, novels, and the victim is lifted up. The poor victim, the suffering victim. It's almost a badge of honor. And now with cancel culture, which I don't want to talk about because that's a whole nother video, but with cancel culture, it's you're either a victim or a narcissist, and the victims are competing. It's like the victim Olympics, You've got the gold medal for victimhood. Oh, you're the silver, you're the bronze. Like who's the biggest victim? It's like this it's very pathological and detrimental to our mental emotional health. And this is all nuanced. Like if you try to uh empower someone who is hell-bent on keeping that victim identity, as I probably would have for most of my life, you resent it. Like, what do you mean? I can't. I'm not responsible for what he did to me. I was a little kid, or I'm not responsible for what they did to me, or I'm not responsible for the government, or I'm not responsible for fill in the blank, right? And so what I said to my mom was, I think most people don't heal because they don't face their own shit. They don't look in the mirror. They don't look within and feel the pain of their original childhood wounds, because doing that can hurt really bad. And it takes courage and strength and will to face your pain and to take 100% responsibility for your heart, for your own wound. So, responsibility doesn't always have to mean like paying the bills and being responsible. It means your ability to respond, your responsibility. So when something terrible happens to you, if it happens in early childhood, that's when later in life we need to be hypnotized and do deep therapy and do all that stuff to unearth it because it's stuck in our subconscious. We don't even know it's there. But in our adult life, if something happens to us, how we respond is 100% up to us. And actually, what happened to us in our childhood, when we become adults, then how we continue to respond to the events of our childhood, it's always us. It's never them. It's never him. It's never her. It's always us. Whatever we're feeling, whatever pain, whatever anger, it's always coming from us as a result of our own feelings and our own thoughts. So to, people live their whole lives longing for that apology, longing for that love, longing for that validation. Daddy, just tell me you love me, or my ex-husband, or whoever, tell me you care. When the ugly truth might be they might never care. They might not be able to love you. So what are you going to do? Live your whole life um, giving away all your agency, all your inner authority, giving all your self-worth to a person who's incapable of loving you? Some of us were dealt that hand. Some of us have parents who are incapable of loving us. An extreme example of taking 100% responsibility was a story that Marianne Williamson always tells. I can't remember the name of her friend, but it was a friend of the family who had been in the camps, the concentration camps, for 3 years. And uh, I don't remember the exact words, but Marianne said something like, "How can you not blame Hitler or hate him or be angry?" And she said to Marianne, "Hitler took 3 years of my life. He shall not take another day." That's next level forgiveness. That's 100% responsibility. But the meaning of what she said there, Hitler took 3 years of my life. I'm not going to give him another day. So it might be true that someone took days or even years of your life, that either things that were beyond your control were painful, extremely painful. It's hard. It's hard to grieve that and to face that. But when we reach a certain age, we need to be our own mother and father, our own parent. And also, as adults, we can make the conscious decision and set the intention that we want to be whole. We want to be happy. We want to be healthy. We want to thrive in spite of what happened to us. We want to respond with the ability to heal, the ability to let love in. I was reading in one of my favorite spiritual books, the I Am Discourses, where Jesus channeled the very last chapter, and he said the two doors through which people have to go through are doubt and fear. And in the Course of Miracles, he says it's fear or love, right? Those are the two things. And I think in pictures, kind of like a child. And when I imagine two doors with big, heavy locks, doubt, fear. And he said the key that unlocks those doors is love, divine love, supreme love, perfect love. And in order to feel that love, in order to receive that love, and in order to love ourselves, we have to take 100% responsibility for our own hearts. So I just wanted to share that today, that responsibility isn't a heavy burden. It's a privilege. It's our gift of free will. It's our key to open the door of doubt and fear. Love is the key, and responsibility is the mechanism. It's the muscle. It's a muscle. Marianne always used to call it musculature. It's the musculature of taking responsibility. This is my life. These are my thoughts. These are my feelings. This is my nervous system. This is my life. Damn it. And no way am I going to let a shitty childhood or a bad marriage or a failed career, whatever it is, ruin my life, my mental, emotional health, my physical health. I highly recommend the meditations of Dr. Joe Dispenza, where people are healing themselves of all kinds of diseases because they're taking responsibility, they're meditating, they're aligning with their own internal power, and the higher power, whatever you want to call it. One of my coaches calls it the purple monkey dishwasher. Whatever God you believe in, your God's a great God. And whatever power there is greater than us, when we decide to take 100% responsibility for ourselves, that power rallies around us. Abraham Hicks calls it the cooperative components of the universe conspire to support us, but we are the ones who have to decide to respond with the ability that we have to heal. And yes, it might hurt. It might hurt really bad. But until you decide to be whole, until you decide to take 100% responsibility for your life, you can't change a thing. Dear God, I pray for who's ever watching this video that you will give them the power to respond to love. Open the doors of fear and doubt and fill their house with love and fill their mind and their heart with love and fill their life with health and wholeness, abundance, prosperity, and every good thing. Because you deserve it. Why? Because you're here. Because you're an innocent child of God and you deserve to be happy, healthy, and free of all blame and all victim mentality. You are not a victim. I choose to think that I'm a volunteer, not a masochist, but a volunteer. Take good care. God bless you.